If your welds aren't looking the way you want, or you're new to TIG welding, you might be making these common mistakes. In this video we'll break them down and show you how to fix each one for cleaner and stronger welds. First thing is you need a sharp tungsten. What happens is your arc starts to wander and you lose arc focus. As you can see from this clip, the arc isn't directly focusing onto the plate, therefore the arc is wandering from left to right across the top of your tip of your tungsten, which spreads the heat over a larger surface area. This makes it harder to create a straight run. The other issue with this is that your wire will start to melt off before you manage to dip it into your weld pool. Because of this, it will give you issues, especially with your weld ripples and your weld profile. Keeping your tungsten sharp is key in TIG welding. It focuses the arc and gives you full control of that weld pool. Another rookie mistake, holding the torch too far from the plate. Do that and you lose gas coverage, arc focus, and end up with nasty porosity just like you see here. Now let's talk about common problems with amp settings in TIG welding. If your welds are coming out looking like frog eyes on a plate, that's a dead giveaway that your amps are too low. As you can see with 40 amps, we're not actually melting the parent metal or the plate. The wire is just melting off and we're just literally sitting that on the surface with hardly any fusion whatsoever. So now we're turning our amps up to 60 to show you the difference. Straight away you can see the weld pool starting to form. It's only a 20 amp increase, but the pool is there, and even though it still feels low, the weld is fusing so much better. The things that let us know this is still a little bit too low on the amp setting is the time it's taking after each dip for that pool to fuse in. So we're not moving very quickly at all. We're adding the wire and having to wait a couple of seconds for it to fuse before we add another feed of wire. So up we go again with the amps. That's another 20. So we're going to take it up to 80 amps and see what this does. And the first thing we notice is the pool is forming nicely now. We're not having to fight it. We're adding that wire a little bit quicker than we were on 60, and you can see that we're now traveling a lot faster as well. Now that you're fusing better, the key to a good weld is all about torch travel speed and wire feed consistency. Keeping both steady from start to finish. Too fast and you'll lose penetration, too slow and you'll overheat the material. So because we're working on 6mm material, we're now going to turn our amps up to 115. The first thing you'll notice is how much smoother and easier the weld becomes. As you practice, you'll start to feel like you're not fighting to melt the material anymore. You can keep a consistent pool going, everything flows naturally, and that tells us we're in the right ballpark for the thickness. Because our settings are correct, you can see the weld ripples are now much tighter and more consistent. That's because we're able to feed the wire at a steady pace thanks to the weld pool forming evenly from start to finish. Get that balance right and you'll have smooth, strong, professional looking welds with nice even ripples. And finally, we've upped our amps to 130 just to test how quickly we need to move, and the answer is a lot faster. That's a clear sign we're running too hot and the weld pool is forming faster than we can comfortably control. So that brings us to the end of this video, but the learning doesn't stop here. The playlist on screen has plenty more tips, tricks and techniques for you to watch, so hit that playlist and we'll see you over there.